and converting it into the new industries of the future, like, for example, biosciences and alternative and advanced energy and environmental technologies. First, you should know that within the next 45 days, we will be releasing a second report from our department. It will be a report that makes recommendations for how to improve and enhance the economic development incentives in our economic development toolbox. The tax credits, the grants, the loans. We are still in the process of developing that, and because some of our changes will require legislative approval, we still must sit down with Leader Beatty and members of the House and the Senate leadership on both sides of the aisle to get a sense of how they feel about our changes. So we're not ready to release that yet today, but we recognize that with the changes in the tax code and the rapidly changes in our economy, that it's time to update what's in our economic development toolbox. Second, we also recognize that we have to develop target industry teams, both made up of people in this room today and members of our department, in each of the 9 targeted industry sectors that we have delineated. Now, if you are right now working in a sector that you think is a priority sector, and it's not listed in these top 9, do not despair. Because what we have not done here is list the regional industry clusters. That's a process that's going to take a little bit longer because it was a little bit more difficult to achieve consensus. But what is an industry cluster in Southwest Ohio may be different than an industry cluster in Northeast Ohio. But with the help of the past and current studies that we've done, we have been able to identify 9 targeted industries in the state of Ohio that we believe transcend boundaries. And if you look on page 9 of your executive summary, you will see them listed in the yellow box. And we will have teams that will focus on developing a strategy for each of those targeted industries. We also are committed to continuation of the Ohio Third Frontier, which will expire at the end of fiscal year 12. And we will be, our Technology and Innovation Division, led by John Griffin and Norm Shagnon, will be going out over the state over the next coming months to talk to many of you about how we can continue to improve the Third Frontier when we go back to the voters in future years to ask them to renew, or in some cases actually have a new Third Frontier program. And then finally, I'll just highlight one new program that we are developing. It's called Check Ohio First. We recognize that we need to reach out to small businesses, to minority-owned businesses, and to women-owned businesses who often feel like they don't get an opportunity to do business with other Ohio businesses. It is, I can tell you how often, including the amen I just heard, that I get a call or I see someone who says, I'm trying to get business with X corporation, those 62 companies that are in the Fortune 1000. And when they look to hire an advertising agency, a PR firm, a printing firm, all too often they are going out of state. Now, we probably are not in a position legally to require them to do business with Ohio businesses, but we are in a position to encourage them and to connect them. And that's what we're going to do with the Check Ohio First. We're going to inventory the supplier needs of the larger companies in our state. And then we're going to inventory the capabilities of the smaller and medium-sized companies in the state. We're going to create that information, put it in a database, put it up on a Check Ohio First website. And we're going to do a better job, in fact, for the first time ever, linking large businesses in the state with the medium and smaller businesses in the state. And every incentive letter that the Department of Development will send out will include an encouragement to that business receiving financial assistance to do business on a day-to-day basis with other Ohio businesses and linking them and directing them to the new Check Ohio First website so that they can do so.